Hey guys and gals, Blender Tech here, another video from the team. If you enjoyed or learned something from the video, consider liking and to subscribe for more Blender, Unity, 3D coding, and all sorts of other related videos. Lastly, don't forget our motto, create your way. So, I was gonna do a Christmas related render tutorial earlier in the month, but I decided, there's so many already popping up, I'm just gonna be one in a million. That's really not gonna make much difference. But as the 2.73 daily build betas got better and better, I started playing around with the SCA tree generator plugin more and more. I haven't really practiced this tutorial very much, but I just wanted to show you kind of how it works and how you could create a cool little Christmas tree with it. Now, this isn't going to be like your regular Christmas tree tutorial. It's going to be very quick and dirty, but I just wanted to show you kind of how this add-on works and how it can be used for a quick little Christmas scene. We are going to start off. If you go into your user preferences, I believe you have to have a daily build to have this add-on. It's available on the Blender download page. Otherwise, I think the SCA tree plugin is available for download. But anyway, I believe it's under testing. Let's see here. Yeah, SCA tree generator right here. So it's still an early version. Like I said, it's under testing, so they're considering putting it in the 2.73 release. But anyways, check that off. It's very stable. I haven't even had any Python errors. Save your user settings, and I'll just quickly show you how it works. You just go mesh, tree to scene, and you get something similar to the sapling generator add-on. However, when you hit F6, it's a much different operator panel. You don't have as much power over how your tree looks. But the cool thing is you can add objects. So we're going to use that to very quickly make a tree that it's going to look like the Christmas tree from hell, basically. I don't know, it's not going to look like your typical happy Christmas tree, but I just want to show the theory behind this. So anyways, let's get rid of that. So let's first create a Christmas ball, because we need something Christmassy. So we're just going to create a UV sphere. I'm going to cut down the amount of segments in half. Let's go 16 and 8. I think that'll work good enough for us. I'm just doing this as an example. You can obviously do it in higher quality. I'm just going to UV unwrap it really quick. So I'm just going to tab into edit mode. I'm going to use Smart UV Project. Well, whatever, that'll be good enough for me. I'm just gonna overlay like kind of wrapping paper over it. So let's just save this UV quick. So I'm gonna export it to my UV unwraps folder, and we'll just call this ball. Now I'm just gonna hop onto the internet and grab a quick texture. So just hop onto Google and search up Christmas texture, wrapping paper, whatever, and pick one that you like. So I'm going to just hop into Photoshop for this. I'm not going to link to any of these textures because I'm not sure on the licensing on them. But like I said, you can easily find some yourself. So I'm going to open up my blueprint or my UV unwrap. Alright, I'm just going to quickly make a new layer. I'm going to fill it with white. This is our UVs. And I'm just going to copy and paste this image right over top. Perfect. I'm sure that'll work out just fine. So I'm going to get rid of the UVs. I'm going to save that. I just wanted to see how it would look. You could have just used it as a texture over the whole thing, but I like to do a smart UV unwrap just to see if there'll be anything that'll get in the way of majors. So I'm just going to call this ball diff. We'll hop back into Blender. We will go to the node editor, because we're going to do this a little bit specially. I'm not going to make this a totally quick tutorial. I'm going to make this kind of cool. So let's do it this way. Let's add a material. I'm going to call this Christmas ball first. Xmas ball. So on a new material, I'm just going to call this ball.mat. And let's add a glossy. And here's where I wanted to do something a little bit interesting. Let's add an emission. And now we want to mix these together, so I'm going to use Node Wrangler. I'm going to merge them using a mix. And then the emission, let's see if I can get this right on the first try. I think I want to take it and the mix shader and add them. But we could change it to a mix later if it doesn't end up working out the way I'm thinking of. So like that. And now from diffuse, I'm gonna add a texture setup. And since it's UV unwrapped, I'm just gonna open up our UV unwrap diffuse. Oops, wrong one. And I'm gonna throw that into the glossy too. Let's go into render mode just to see what it looks like. And it looks a little bright. Let's turn that strength down. I wanted it to kind of glow a little bit. We'll go something like that. It's like I said, I'm not going for super cool and super high tech here. I'm happy enough with that. I'm gonna turn the roughness down a bit. Add a bit more gloss. It's not gonna make a difference because I don't have any light. Let's turn some light on. There we go. Oh geez. Sorry, mostly diffuse, barely glossy with a fairly low roughness. I am going to make this smooth. Good enough. Alright, let's tab back into regular mode. I'll just go into texture for now. Drop out of the node editor. So that is going to be our Christmas ball. I'm just going to scale it down by a quarter. So I'm going to go 0.25, maybe 0.5 just to be safe. I'm just going to apply the rotation to be safe because I don't know how the, we should turn on screencast keys. I don't know exactly how the, how this plugin works 100%. So I'm going to tab into object mode and apply the rotation and scale. And I'm just gonna throw this off to the side for now. I'm gonna hide my sun for now. So let's move our cursor back to center and let's re-add our tree. So mesh, add tree to scene. So right now it looks pretty boring, but we can fix that. Again, I haven't really done too much playing around with this. I don't know how it works too much, but let's uncheck no modifiers. Let's update it. That'll give us a skin modifier. We want, which one was it? Scale, yeah. Scale will go up to about 0.7 I found looked pretty good. 0.7, 0.10, somewhere in there. Ooh, that's too big, never mind. 0.3 maybe. Just play with the settings a bit, just get something interesting. You can play with this all you want. It doesn't have as much, like I said, it doesn't have as much power as the sapling add-on, but for adding a quick tree, it does work. I'm going to add leaves. And I'm going to add objects. We're going to update. So we now have leaves and objects. However, by default, it selected my camera to add as an object. Not so cool. So I'm going to F6 back into it. You have to do that for some reason to get all these options back. So the modifier, you could use the skin modifier and then it would pop into the modifiers panel once you hit update. Or you can just use the native. I've found that that works pretty good. So the leaves, I'm going to leave them alone. You can add a lot more. We could go, we could pump up the number. So yeah, we'll just get some random leaves in there. I would go for a lot more, obviously, if I wanted to make it look like a Christmas tree, but like this can be the empty, bare Christmas tree. This is going to be the Christmas tree that you've left till the end of January, and it's sitting there dying. But anyways, the objects is kind of the cool part of this plugin. So I'm going to add our Xmas ball. And if we update it, okay, maybe I need to do that again. Let's try doing that. Yeah, this plugin's still got some problems. Xmas ball, update tree. Okay, no objects. Xmas ball, update tree. And it still wants to put my camera in there. There we go. You have to do some playing around. It's not the most intuitive. But at least it does tell you what each thing does, so that's cool when you hover over it. So you can figure it out a bit more. I'm just gonna bump up these numbers, see if we can get some more balls. Okay, that's good enough for me. I want clustering, not really. Although you could make them clustered. Let's see what that looks like. Didn't really do anything. We'll just leave it stock value. Object size, we'll leave it at stock because we can change the object. Well, we can bump it down a bit. They're quite large. Yeah, something. You know, we'll go 0.33 And then object random size will go 0.5. So that'll randomize the size a little bit. And obviously you could create an object group that had a bunch of different colored Christmas ornaments or whatever that you wanted to add to your tree. Good enough. Alright, so if we turned on our sun, if we hid this, and if we got our camera set up, it's gonna look like crap. But have no fear, we will fix that very fast. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it looks like someone threw this together in Blender in about 5 seconds. We need to texture the tree and the leaves. Let's start with the leaves. So we're gonna add a new material. We want leaves, .mat. And if you've seen my how to use the sapling generator tutorial, you'll know how to do this. So I'm just gonna fly through this. Node editor. We need, let's see if I can remember the order. I haven't done this in a while. I know we need a mix, another mix, and an add. And then we need a translucent. So we don't need one, but it looks better. We need a transparent. And we need a glossy. And then we, and then we need to add our texture setup to there. I'm gonna drop that down into the glossy too. I'm gonna mix these together. And I'm gonna just quickly go to cgtextures.com and I'm gonna find a pine tree, like a needle texture. So I'll be right with you. Alright, so I just went on to CG Textures. You have to sign up for this, so I can't give you the textures again. But I just searched up needles, and this one looks perfect because it's got the alpha mask, and I need or at least want the alpha mask. So it doesn't really matter, they're all alpha masks, but I'm going to use this big bushy one. So we're going to download that. So this is leaves 0142_1 small. So I'm going to save that. So yeah, leaves 0142, texture number 84590 if you're looking for it yourself. So we're going to plug that into our image texture. Alright, so it works except for the fact that the alpha, the white part, is currently black. So we need to fix that. I just remember I had this backwards. I remember I made myself a little way to remember it. It was mix, add, mix. So I gotta switch these two around. So yeah, mix, add, mix. When it comes to doing trees, I usually add in my fake bump mapping too. So I'm just gonna add in a, where are you? A bump. And we're gonna take the height from the color. And we're going to take the normal out to the normal of the diffuse. And we could do the glossy. And another thing I always do in regards to the bump mapping, I do it backwards. I change the height to 1, or the distance I guess, and the strength to 0.1. So I just do that backwards. I find it looks more realistic. Let's actually connect these together. Just so we can get kind of a preview. So you guys can see how this all works together. So let's go into rendered view. We've got our leaves in view. So yeah, right now they're very dark. Oh, my sun is on. But yeah, you can see if I zoom in that they've got kind of this fake bump map. So I'm just going to leave that like that. And now we need to get rid of the alpha mask. So the black part, which is actually clear. To do that, we just take our transparent shader, because we want to make that part transparent. We plug it into our mix shader. And you'll see it's already starting to get transparent, and I can go, all the way with no transparency, so like normal, or I can go completely gone. But instead of using a factor, we want to use the alpha channel. So let's plug that in, our alpha channel. Let's plug it into the factor of the last mix shader, which uses the transparent shader. And you'll see that it's kind of working. We need this to be pure white. Okay, it is. The reason this happens is because Blender's just finicky. You need to swap these up. It's upside down basically. I think there's a way to do this with the Node Wrangler. Swap links. Yeah. So there you go. We have the alpha channel masked now, so that's good to go. So we can take this. I'm just gonna go H to make it small. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go H to make that small. Just gonna organize this a little bit more. And now we just need to tweak our leaves a little bit. Now, leaves are slightly translucent. Now, deciduous leaves more so. Pine needles like this or whatever, evergreen needles, I would think not so much. So I might actually not even use it. Yeah, that looks a lot better on deciduous leaves. I'll leave it in there for now though, whatever. Just because this is the way I always do my leaves, so the more you practice it, the faster you can do it, the better, and better, stronger, faster, whatever the line is. That is good there. Let's see here. I want to turn up my sun strength a little bit while I'm at it. And I'm going to go and turn the size up. That should make the shadows a bit more realistic. So back to the leaves. It's basically good enough. They don't need to be very glossy, but I'm going to turn, just going to play with this. That's completely diffuse. Or sorry, that's completely diffused, that's completely glossy. It almost looks like they're frozen if you add just the right amount of glossiness. We'll do something like that. I don't know, just play with it. Like you really gotta play with it. Every texture is different. And I'm gonna change the bump mapping distance to 0.25. That's my go-to number. So that's really about it for the leaves. Trying to not speed through this, but I don't want another hour tutorial on some stupid tree that really doesn't look that great. We've got some leaves. It's not the right amount. Like I said, I haven't mastered this plugin. I only practiced this once, but you get the idea. We've got some leaves. We've got some ornaments. Let's quickly fix up our tree. It needs a subsurf. You can do this from within the plugin, but I'm gonna add it now. Just make the trunk look a little better. And let's go ahead and add a quick texture to that. So I'm just going to call this bark.mat, and we're going to quickly snap back into the node editor. And I'll go right into the bark, and let's see if I can remember how to do this. So I'm going to add a texture setup to my diffuse. I already have a bark texture that I always use, so bark deciduous 0062. That's the one I always use. That is quite dark though. Well, we'll see if we can't fix that. Oh, maybe it's the UV. Let's see if it generated it. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't UV unwrap the tree. However, that looks stretched a lot, so you'll have to play with the mapping. So it looks like it's stretched in the Z. Why is an animation playing? That's extremely odd. When did I hit play? Anyways, I guess it's X I want to play with, but you can play with the sizes till you get something you like. There's infinite amount of possibilities, and each tree is different when it comes to the bark. So there we go. We have some basic balls. We have a few leaves. I would have liked to add more. I'm not going to re-record this though. I just wanted to get the general idea out there. A couple more things you could do just really quickly before I end off here. Go back into edit mode in in non-rendered mode. You could add a plane, and then you could make it, you could add like a snow texture to it. I'll just leave it white. Let's see if we get any of that emission from the Christmas bulbs now, because that's what I was kind of hoping for. No, but if we pumped up the scale, come on, where is it, of the emission, I'm sure you could see it if we went like really strong, because this is measured in watts. So yeah, you could see there it's lighting up our entire tree. Maybe like a 200 watt light is inside each one. No, now you can't see the texture, so you'd have to play around with it, but you get the general idea. Anyways, I wanted to kind of show off the SCA tree add-on in Blender and show you how to make the worst looking Christmas tree ever. In fact, that's what I'm going to title this. So yeah, that is basically it. Another thing you could do is you could add a particle system to make some snowflakes. You could make different trees, and then when you go and you finalize this tree, don't duplicate it. Make instance copy. So that's Alt D. Now you'd have to take the rest of the objects with it. I'm just doing this as an example, but that way you can make a huge forest full of trees that don't take up extra memory. So you can create a huge scene by using instance duplications instead of regular duplications. In fact, there is a person on, was it Blender Nation or Adventures in Blender, that basically did that, and he said that he was using over 1 trillion verts by making instance duplications of trees that way. But anyways, yeah, play with this SCA tree generator add-on. So yeah, play around with it. Add a heck of a lot more leaves than I did. Maybe rotate them properly. Maybe make Christmas balls emit properly. You guys know what you're doing probably better than me. I just kind of wanted to show this off. So this is, yeah, the Christmas tree from hell. That's what I'm going to call it. So yeah, just kind of my Christmas add-on. Just wanted to show how this add-on works and why it is so cool, because of the fact that you can add objects. Really about it. And then the skin modifiers, you could use the stock skin modifier and add a subsurf. So let me just quickly, I'll turn off tree 1. So here's tree 2. It's got a bunch more leaves. I still like the sapling. It added cameras again. This add-on definitely needs some work. Let's definitely say that. But anyways, you can use these here now. So we have a subsurf. Well, we have 2 of them actually, and we have the skin modifier. Now the beauty of the skin modifier is if you tab into edit mode of the tree, is it's got vertices. Now if you've watched my skin modifier information or my latest tips and tricks, I show you how you can scale vertices using the skin modifier by pressing Control A. And then you can scale your verts up. So you could basically create your own custom sized tree by just scaling all the verts. So I could take the bottom vert, where is it, that one? Yep. And you could make some sort of trunk. And you could really take your time doing this. So yeah, that's my super cheesy, kind of retarded, really horribly looking tree tutorial for this Christmas. I hope you learned something about the SCA tree add-on, however, though, and I hope you're excited as me for the 2.73 release that I feel is coming any day now. I think it's going to be a Christmas or New Year's present. Anyways, like I said, that's about all I have for now. So thanks for watching from the team here at BlenderTech.com. If you enjoyed this video and learned something, please like it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. We're now on Twitter at twitter.com/blender_tech. That's at blender_tech, and Facebook at facebook.com/blendertech page, all one word. We also have podcasts at soundcloud.com/blendertech, one word. If you want a hard copy of our videos, let us know. If you disliked our video for some reason, please tell us why, and don't just hit the thumbs down button and leave. That way we can continually improve our videos based on community input. We also take tutorial requests. Anyways, see you next time. Remember, create your way.